Hello, everyone. We have a special announcement today about the RPOA's annual conference happening February 23rd and 24th of 2023 here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But this year, we've decided to create even more value by adding a one-day short-term rental conference on Wednesday, February 22nd. That way, you can attend two conferences in 3 days. And here to give us all a preview of what we can expect from our first annual short-term rental conference is Kathy Bartnick, the RPOA staff liaison for the Short-Term Rental Association. Kathy, thanks for coming here today and sharing the short-term rental conference information with us.
Absolutely. We are so excited about this. We've got a great lineup. We've got two panels with experts on it and great topics. And we're excited with the vendors and sponsors. So we just want to get the word out.
Absolutely. And this is new this year. So it'll require people wrapping their head around that Wednesday, February 22nd of 2023 is the short-term rental conference. And it's exclusively about short-term rentals.
Right.
But then Thursday and Friday is the annual RPOA conference that everyone is used to. This is probably our 48th year or something.
Right. Something like that. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And there we have speakers on every topic. But let's focus on the short-term rental conference today, that Wednesday, February 22nd. What can we expect? Let's talk about some of the topics that we'll be addressing during that one-day conference.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to have two panels, and the first panel is going to talk about the different styles of short-term rental management. There's individual hosting, there's online hosting, there's management in person, there's management online. There's so many different facets of how to manage a short-term rental, which will be completely different than how you would manage a long-term rental that we're used to with RPOA. So very specific to the different styles and how do you decide which to pick and when to change. So a lot of details about the different management styles specifically for short-term rental. And then another huge topic is going to be the second panel, which I think is going to be a sellout, is going to be lobbying efforts, grassroots efforts to defend short-term rental in our cities, in our communities. I feel like there's this negative vibe that we always have to fight for our property rights for short-term rentals to be in these cities and provide this awesome place for people to go as an alternative to stay for their vacations. So the panel, we've got a couple of experts on here that are going to come just talk about, they have fought City Hall and won. They have a plan to share with the communities on how to influence your city council people on be friendly to short-term rentals. We provide jobs, we provide revenue for your cities. We're good for your community. So those two panels are going to be excellent. And then of course, Robyn Thompson's going to be here selling her packages on how to just get into the industry altogether. And it's just going to be really exciting with the topics.
Wow, you just addressed a lot there. And let's talk about some of the headwinds, because I think you touched on this. There's headwinds with communities trying to ban short-term rentals, and that's something to be aware of. And really, it's like you have to have allies in your corner, and the Short-Term Rental Association is one of those allies.
Yes.
Some of the other headwinds that we're reading about now is that there's a lot more short-term rentals out there. So occupancy at a lot of these properties has gone down. Therefore, profit has gone down. But what separates the profitable short-term rentals from the not so profitable short-term rentals is education, information, people who excel and rise above the competition. And I think everything you just said indicates that there's going to be experts there who will show you how to rise above the competition.
Absolutely. The difference for people that are going to make it or break it right now is going to be education. It's going to be in the game. It's going to be boots on the ground, finding out what everyone else is doing. It's going to be networking. It's going to be making sure you're doing things correctly. Everything's different. Long-term, short-term is different, from accounting to how the housekeeping to the maintenance systems to all these different things, that it's more detailed oriented. And for you to make it in this right now, just collaborating with other people in the business. And that's what the Short-Term Rental Association is all about.
Yeah, if you want to treat your short-term rental like a hobby and just try to make a little bit of money off of it, don't come to this conference.
Right, yeah. We might overwhelm you.
But if you want to treat it like a business, and rise above the competition and learn the best practices, definitely you must be at this conference. So let's talk about the sponsors. Why don't you tell us who they are?
We've got our main sponsors, and again, so different than long-term because these companies are specifically for short-term. So it's so exciting that we've got these. We've got some national companies, some statewide companies, and local companies that are really sponsoring our event. So Vacasa, they're based actually here in Michigan, but they're also a national company, and they're an online, complete online service management for short-term rental, and they're sponsoring our event. Stage Michigan, they're from the east side of the state. They help stage your short-term rental. It matters how you stage it, believe it or not. You've got to have, just like a model for a long-term, it's really important that things are staged right. So Stage Michigan is a sponsor. And then the CEO host, she's also going to actually speak on the panel for RPOA on Thursday. Her company is amazing. She has her own business, and she's a consultant, and she's very knowledgeable from how to start and where to go with your short-term rental business. So the CEO host is also a sponsor. Owner Res, great online management system service for short-term rental. They have been at our meetups, really involved in the association. And by the way, all these guys are members of the Short-Term Rental Association with us in Michigan, which is great. Mount is another really interesting company that's sponsored, and they provide all things rentable for short-term rental, like things that you never think, hey, I could get some, non-rent revenue from what these things that you can rent. So the Mount is a great company that's also going to be there. And then Boathouse Commercial Lending, they're actually the underwriter for the RPOA conference, and they're also part of the short term. So really excited about those sponsors. And then we have 22 booths total. So we've got lots of other just vendor companies that'll be there, just providing exhibit information from taxes to financing to staging. It's all going to be there. So it's going to be a really great event. And we're still selling. So there's time. There's a little bit of time if you want to get in to sponsor or actually exhibit at short-term rental, let us know.
We have more room for vendors if
We
they
do.
want in. So there's a lot of value packed into that one-day conference, Kathy. Why did we choose to separate it, have a short-term rental conference on Wednesday and then our annual RPOA conference on Thursday and Friday? Why two different conferences?
Same reason why we really started the Short-Term Rental Association under the wing of RPOA, because the industry is so different and the needs are so different. So because we started that association, we were seeing all these questions specifically about short-term and the banning of them in cities and how do you get started, and how you can't have a regular lease agreement with a short-term rental. You need a different kind of agreement. So all these things happen where it's the accounting systems are different, the cleaning systems, the maintenance systems, all these things were different. So just the same reason why we have a separate association now for it, we needed its own conference where we're really going to, everyone that's going to be there, their specialty and their expertise is going to be in the short term versus long-term traditional renting.
Well, Kathy, I am really looking forward to the short-term rental conference. It is going to be held Wednesday, February 22nd of 2023 at the DeVos Place Convention Center in downtown Grand Rapids. And you can find out more by going to www.shorttermrentalASSOC.com. And don't forget that the Michigan Landlord and Real Estate Investor Conference and Expo of 2023, our annual conference, will be happening that same week, Thursday and Friday, February 23rd and 24th. Same place, same week, different conference. And you can find out more about that one by going to MichiganREIConference.com. Kathy, I'll give you the final word. Why do people need to be at that short-term rental conference?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to grow your business and stand out from the rest, you got to come February 22nd and join us and network and get to know all the other work colleagues.
Fantastic. Thank you. We'll see you there.
Thank you.